In this video, we are going to be taking a look at how to install a monitor or TV in your Xtension 32-inch stand-up arcade cabinet. The parts on the left are provided for you and are for any displays that have the connections on the sides or on the bottom. You have 4 large washers, 4 small washers, and 4 30mm screws. The parts on the right are optional and are for displays that have the connections on the back. If needed, links to these products will be provided in the description of this video. The M4 Allen key is included with your cabinet. 25mm nylon spacers, 55mm screws, and 90° HDMI adapter. You can also use a 90° DisplayPort adapter depending on your monitor. Finally, your provided Phillips head screwdriver. We will now look at 2 methods for installing a display in your Xtension 32-inch cabinet. Method 1 is recommended for any displays that have the connections on the sides or on the bottom. Most TVs will fit into this category. Method 1. For this first step, you'll want to use your M4 Allen key to remove the 2 bolts on each side of the cabinet that keep the top panel in place. With the 4 bolts removed, grab the top panel and move it up and away from the cabinet. From the back, grab the plexiglass and slide it upwards until it clears the cabinet. This is a good time to connect any cables to your TV or monitor, as you'll want to have those in place prior to mounting your display in the cabinet. We can now stick the wires through the cable management hole and place the display into the cabinet. Next, we will place the small washer followed by the larger washer into each of the 4 screws and secure the display to the mounting bracket from the back of the cabinet. It is best to hand tighten each screw, as we will be adjusting the vertical position of the display. In this example, we will raise the monitor to position it into place, after which we will tighten each screw with a screwdriver. At this point, we can reinstall the plexiglass into the cabinet. Make sure to slide it along each of the channels on the sides. You can now adjust the front to back position of the bracket to your liking. Once in place, tighten the 4 screws to secure the bracket. We can now reinstall the top panel. It is best to install it at an angle, aligning the groove on the panel with the top of the plexiglass marquee. Finally, reinstall the 4 top panel bolts. Make sure not to over tighten. This concludes method 1. Method 2. This method is recommended for displays that have connectors on the back as opposed to the sides or the bottom. Step 1. Remove the 4 screws that secure the monitor bracket in place. With all screws removed, grab the bracket and carefully pull it out of the cabinet. Place your display face down on a soft surface. We will now align the optional nylon spacers with the mounting holes on the back of the monitor. Next, you'll want to connect any necessary cables. For this monitor, we'll be using a 90° HDMI adapter. Note that with this adapter, the cable is not sitting flush, so instead, we will swap to a different adapter that faces upwards. Both of these adapters were included in the same package. We can now place the mounting bracket over the spacers, aligning them with the proper slots on the bracket. Next, secure the monitor to the bracket using your provided 55mm screws. You can use the same washers that are included with your cabinet. At this time, it is best to properly tighten the screws since we will be picking up the bracket with the monitor attached. We can now reinstall the bracket in the cabinet with the monitor attached. You may have to slightly flex the side of the cabinet to get the bracket into place. Align the slots on the bracket with the holes on the side of the cabinet and hand tighten each of the 4 screws. We can now adjust the up and down position of the monitor by loosening then retightening the 4 screws on the back of the mounting bracket. We can also adjust the front to back position, then tighten the 4 screws on the sides of the mounting bracket. Congratulations, you have just installed your monitor or TV into your Xtension 32-inch stand-up arcade cabinet.